Picture, if you can, a speculative science fiction world where we realize that our rational order making does not have to be rejected to acknowledge our speechless wisdom of thought and becoming. Feeling is the very essence of nature and not linguistic order making in this science fiction realm. The symbolic is the next area to liberate from this systematic mode of separation, and my feeling is that our expanded understanding of how the cosmos is inherently symbolic is key to placing the excess back in the middle and being able to leave our work at the door whilst allowing ourselves to take pleasure in our ability to think from within this realm of feeling. If we can do this, perhaps we can quieten the thoughts long enough to stop feeling so lonely. The need to be positive is, after all, to counteract our default position of critical analysis, but our newfound sense of a feeling cosmos could prevent us from solely defining ourselves as metadata. All of our intellectual problems of ethical dilemmas would cease because thinking would only be needed to solve mutual problems. The mechanization of the calculation process could be seen to track the symbolic image of equivalence, with the two converging in the language of computer coding. It is as if developing this means of understanding has led to us inadvertently rewiring ourselves into a state of believing that this state of taking measurements is our essential nature. A state of being ourselves as observers of a puzzle that needs solving. We are not in the puzzle, and this is a severe quirk of the puzzle-solving brain. I say puzzle rather than problem, because the puzzle-solving brain prefers the specificity of a puzzle it has created for itself, rather than actually feeling whether something is a problem that needs solving. Some claim that science now recognizes the role of the observer in creating the result, but they do so from the point of view that this is a puzzle and an anomaly. They say the eye can never see itself, but this, like many other puzzles, is due to the frame of the puzzle solving we find ourselves in. Some scientists, perhaps rightly, get upset when Young's double-slit test is used to prove that consciousness can alter material reality. They point out that we are conflating the obtaining of measurements with physically observing. So perhaps there is something outside of human consciousness capable of autonomously taking measurements. This is probably going on all the time in some respects as the algorithm harvests our metadata. But this does seem to point towards the limits of scientific observation as a means of defining consciousness. The cosmos from the computer brain is all observables and probabilities that reduce to certainties in measurement. That is science. And so my point here is that in reducing, it thus leaves us with something other than what is really real, which by the time measurement has taken place has become something else. And this is okay if we remember that the measurement is a shorthand and can possibly be rehydrated into something more alive. But ask yourself how much you would enjoy the works of Shakespeare in shorthand performed in a basic code by a modem mechanistically chirruping. The cosmos has no edge, and we are in the middle of it. We are just the same as any other part of it. My cat has a quality of life without worrying that it will never see its own eye. This does not make it inferior, nor I superior. My cat can clean her privates, and I can think about never seeing my own eye. These are things we can do, and at other levels we are both part of the experiential nature of the cosmos. Some malfunction has taught us to believe that our brain processes the data inputs and creates a version of the world. When a computer is not processing, what is it doing? When you are not processing, what are you doing? Are you feeling? Is there still a flavor of the self? Does a cat have a sense of self? The two cats in my home have a completely distinct way of being. I do not offer this as proof, but as a taste of the flavor of the self. Proof is useful for returning a cardigan to Marks and Spencer's, or solving an abstract theory, but proof itself is an invention of the puzzle-solving brain, which has decided that the realm beyond proof is supernatural, superstitious, and superficial. Proof resides inside a region of feeling, and not the other way around. Is proof Pavlov's bell? So, in this speculative science fiction realm, institutions have the wisdom and experience to feel their place within feeling itself, rather than trying to define a limit within which feeling operates or becomes excess. Sadly, I think achieving this form of civilization could be a drawn-out process, because one William Blake was warning in his richly creative way against the human abstract of the dark satanic mills over 200 years ago. Is proof then Pavlov's bell? This makes sense of why we don't notice its ritualistic pattern and focus instead on the results of its evidence. My cat jumps over the fence at the bottom of our garden because she has proof that there is a garden full of other stuff on the other side. I pull my socks up because I have proof that the elastic will hold them up, and that they are proven to be made in England, and proven to be 80% cotton. When we have proof, we can expect something good for someone. Observables and probabilities that reduce to certainties in measurement. Quantum qualities become definitive only upon measurement.